Good afternoon. It's August 16th, 2019. The sun has come out on a Friday afternoon, and I've got yet another driving video in Bethlehem for you. Just to my left is the old Bethlehem Steel headquarters. Just ahead is the new entrance to Steel Stacks, which I'm going to try to drive through towards the end of the video. They may still be cleaning up from last weekend's Music Fest. I can't promise I can do that, but I'm going to try. These two long buildings off to my left are part of the original Bethlehem Steel plant. They're going to undergo some major changes. The long, low building is supposed to be demolished to make a water park, an indoor water park, that's going to mimic the look of the old building. This taller building is going to be refurbished into a hotel, which will be the second hotel. You can see behind it the lighter colored building. That is the hotel they built with what was the Sands Casino complex. The main reason I want to drive by this today is it is no longer the Sands Casino. It has been purchased by Wind Creek, and you can see the signage is being redone. It is currently being rebranded. And, well, it currently says Wind Creek. It's not quite what you wanted to read. It's going to be Wind Creek. You can see on the little sign out front here. And that sign is put up on the ore bridge that was part of the original Bethlehem Steel. That bridge is on a huge set of rollers that would move forward and back. There was a big ore pit. It is now fixed into place. They have a nice stone base around it, and it is the entrance. You drive through it to get to the parking garage. I'm not sure exactly what this industrial building to the left is, but I believe it's still being used in some kind of industrial manner. I'm going to turn around and do another drive-by, so I'm going to cut this off, and you'll see it when I come back on the other side. Okay, I've got to pick back up with the video a little earlier than I thought I was going to. Took a little detour to turn around. I'm now looking at the back of this building that I said I didn't know what it was. And there is signage there. It is being operated by Lehigh Valley Heavy Forge. It says Machine Shop Number 1 on one of the signs. I believe that's what it said. I saw it coming in. There's a sign off to the right. Lehigh Heavy Forge Corporation, Number 1 Machine Shop. So this area that we're driving through here, this is one of the brownfields that's being redeveloped. I know there's a lot of, I'm not sure exactly what kind of businesses are back here. There's a hotel on the corner. This used to be Bethlehem Steel. I did have the privilege one time, many, many years ago, of taking a class trip to Bethlehem Steel while it was still in operation. And one of the things we got to see on that trip was the rolling operations, where they turn a steel ingot into an I-beam, which is a very, very cool process. And if I recall, it was around the area that they did it was back in that complex. Don't quote me on that 100%. I actually did not grow up in the area, so that had been the first time I was ever here. That was an extremely cool process. Just seeing it repeatedly go through the rollers to transform from a relatively compact ingot to a very long steel beam. So we're going to actually drive through the casino complex here. You can see the ore bridge and the new sign going up straight ahead. The signs closer to the entrance are done. That is the new owner and operator of the casino. And I may come back here for lunch, but I'm just going to drive through for now to do a little bit more for the video. I'm not a big gambler. I've put a couple dollars into the slots over the years, and I haven't really gotten enough out of it. Hold on. I've never gotten enough back out of a slot machine to make it worth my while. It tends to get boring a little easier. We're going past the retail center here, the outlet center. I mentioned in an earlier video I do work for prefabricated exteriors. This retail center off to the right and the hotel behind it are two of the buildings that I worked on. My role in that is to check the fabrication drawings of other drafters to ensure all is well before we put it into production, because when it gets out here in the field, it's got to be right. These two buildings up ahead are the ones that I mentioned earlier in the video that are going to be, the low one's going to be demolished, I believe. The tall one is going to be refurbished and turned into a hotel. From what I understand about the one that will be a hotel, the space between floors is very high. I believe it's 18 feet floor to floor. So what they're going to do for the hotel is actually insert new floors between the existing ones. So you're going to have 9-foot floors. I'm not sure exactly how many stories it is. And I'm sure they'll clean up the outside of it. It's a pretty neat building. I mean, I know it looks kind of old and dirty and whatnot, but I don't know. I have a fondness for the old industrial designs, so I kind of like it. I hope they clean it up but keep the original look. I've yet to see the plans for it, so I can't say with any certainty, but I'll let you know as that develops. I'll probably come down here someday and do more photography. Straight ahead is the old blast furnaces. There is, if you see the silver set of stairways kind of at the base of it, that's what's called the Hoover Mason trestle. I'm going to do a video of that eventually too. I brought down the gimbal today hoping to do it, but it's actually getting to be a little too hot for my liking. It's very humid. It's only 84 degrees, but it is very humid. I don't do well with the heat. And I am running a little shorter on time than I had hoped for the day. So I'm going to turn this a little bit to the right. I'm going to do 2 passes through here so you get to see both sides of this. There's still an old, I believe this is a machine shop. If you get up on the trestle, you can actually, they have the one wall on the far end knocked out. You can actually look into the building. I'll see if I can find, I have photos of it. I'll see if I can find a photo to edit into the building. Looking into the building, I'll edit that into the video. You have the blast furnaces along with some old relics out front. There's 2 stages here. What's neat is most of the summer you can come out here most nights of the week and get free concerts. This is the Steel Stacks complex, and that's the Levitt Pavilion off to my right. My personal fantasy, this is a band you probably haven't heard of. It's a German band called Die Krupps. They're an industrial metal band, and my gosh, I mean, it's my fantasy to see them play on that stage in front of the steel mill, because that's actually a topic they touch on in some of their songs. There's the other staircase leading up to the Hoover Mason trestle. This building to my right has been refurbished as a visitor center. There's restrooms, souvenirs, information for the area. And I'm going to turn around up here at this parking lot. So there'll be a brief break in the video here. Okay, we're heading back towards the Steel Stacks area again. There's some older buildings off to the right. Former Bethlehem Steel buildings. I'm not sure what their function was. I believe that they were some of the older buildings on the site. I don't know what the plans are for them. You can probably see through them. You can probably see the old headquarters building, the tall building off to the right. That's where we came in originally. The blast furnaces are off to my left. I'm going to keep the camera to the right though. You saw those on the first pass. I'm going to let you see the other side now. This building coming into view up ahead, there's another stage right there. The Air Products, Town Square they call it. Again, free concerts. Usually that's a smaller seating there. You can fit a lot more in the Levitt Pavilion. And inside the building, they've got 2, it's a movie theater. They've got 2 screens. What's really neat about it is they show a lot of the independent films, a lot of the smaller films that you're not going to see elsewhere. Off to the right beyond that is our local PBS station, Channel 39. That's their studio. An interesting note about the movie theater at Steel Stacks. There was a movie came out recently called Billboard that was filmed entirely in the Lehigh Valley. And I went over to Steel Stacks, had dinner in the little snack area, went in the theater to see the movie, and interestingly there was a brief scene in the movie where they were sitting more or less in the same spot I had just had dinner. And it was part of the movie. It was a little kind of surreal sitting in the theater seeing a scene that was filmed in the theater. It was a neat little movie though. If it probably doesn't have a broad appeal, but if you like Lehigh Valley stuff, it was actually based on a true story, which was a story of a small radio station that they had a billboard sitting contest, and it was trying to drum up interest. It was all in the age, when it happened for real, it was all in the age before social media. They did film the movie as if it was happening in real time. Anyway, we're coming up on the hotel here. I'm going to end the video. This is just, like I said, a quick tour around the old Bethlehem Steel property. The redevelopment work continues. There's the old head house off to the left. Actually, I'll swing right around there because I'm going to park. And, I'll end this for now, but I do have a lot of ideas to come out here, walk around, talk in more detail about some of the buildings and some of the sites. So, as ever, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.